Old. Now, everybody stop. I want everybody to raise their arms up and down. There we go. Feel that in the calves and the upper back. A little bit. There you go. I can't go as far as you can, Ignacio. All right, and then I'm going to need everybody to do at least 5 squats. Do a squat if you can squat. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, you can take your seat. You can take your seat. Thank you. So, you guys are going to kind of be mad at me because we have a game to play, Ignacio.
Yeah, we do.
Do you know what the game's called?
No, you should tell me what is the game called?
So, who remembers a loved celebrity that passed a couple years ago? He unfortunately, his life was taken too short. He lived in a zoo, and his name was Harambe. Get the heck out of here. Did you just ask who? Harambe, I just said it. Huh? They were how old? Wait, you guys were 5? I'm so old, Ignacio. Okay, it's a game. It's like rock, paper, scissors, but it's called Gorilla Man Net? It's called Gorilla Man Gun, but we live in America, so nets. Everyone's like, oh my God, did you just say that? Yes, I did. So I'm gonna need everybody to find a partner. I'm gonna need to find a partner. Find someone that like is your homeboy or maybe it's a stranger. Everybody stand up. I'm gonna need you to stand up again. Stand up again.
Find a partner.
Find someone that you just, your soul connects to. Find someone. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand. No, you only have one. It can only be a pair. Only a pair. No, why don't you go to right there?
Dos.
Who are you with?
Two people.
Who doesn't have a partner yet? Okay, you can go over there too. You can go over there. Aiden. All right. Everyone must participate. So if you're sitting down, stand up. Do it. Stand up. Thank you. All right. So the way this is gonna go is you're gonna. Noah, how do we do gorilla? Like just okay, this is gonna be gorilla. So this is gorilla, right? Everybody show me gorilla. And no one's better than anybody else, so everybody's gonna do this. Get your pride out of the way. Just everybody show me gorilla. There you go. Okay. And then we have man. So we're just gonna do just I have work today. And then we're gonna do what should be net, Noah? What's like, yeah, this will be net. This is net. Net, why volleyball? But there's, soccer has a net. Oh yeah, this is great, that's a good idea. This will be net. So you're gonna go like this, right? So this is net, this is gorilla, this is man. So I'm gonna need everybody to get their partner, and man is just straight up just basic, like you would see on the bathroom sign. I know, man and boring. You're rude.
Couldn't you just use net on the gorilla and the man?
No, but men know how nets work. Gorillas don't know how nets work. So, what's gonna basically happen is you're gonna be back to back to someone. Everybody, pay attention. You're gonna be back to your partner, and when we say go, you're gonna turn around and do something. So I think we both did gorilla. So we'd have to redo it really quickly, and if you get a tie, then we'll just go into the next round, and you'll be together again. And then we'll say 1, 2, 3, and I did gorilla, so I would have lost. So gorilla beats man, man beats net, net beats gorilla. Does everybody understand that? Say it with me. Gorilla beats man, man beats net, and net beats gorilla. There you go. You guys got it. All right, so we're gonna try and get this super quick because this is gonna be a long game. So if you don't have a partner, find a partner. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand. You don't have a partner? Do you have a partner back there? Why don't you pair up with her, okay? Why don't you guys pair up? All right, awesome. Who else doesn't have a partner? Alexandra, Armani have a partner. Awesome. All right, now if you have your partner, turn around and place your back, like face away from them. Do you have a partner, ma'am? No? Hannah? Oh, you two. You guys need partners. You two. Yeah. So why don't you go back there and Dude, why are you screaming, Grant? Nothing's happened yet. What? Okay, so basically it's like rock, paper, scissors. This is gorilla. Who is screaming? Logan, stop screaming. This is gorilla, this is man, and this is net. And basically, gorilla, everybody say it with me, gorilla beats man, man beats net, net beats gorilla. There you go. So you're gonna have your back face to them, and then when we, on our count of three, when I say three, you're gonna turn around and do one of those. And if you beat the other person, great. If you lost, sit down, go sit back to your seat, and yeah. So Ignacio, why don't you take the first round?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
3, go. All right, if you lost, sit down. If you lost, take a seat. Make sure you sit down if you lost. If it was a tie, keep standing, just stay standing. If you guys tied, stay standing. If you guys got a tie, stay standing. All right, everybody have your back to someone. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand and find someone else that doesn't have a partner. So if you don't have a partner, find someone, build those connections. Nice, have your back to them. We're gonna get started real quick. All right, on the count of 3, you're gonna do man, gorilla, or net. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh. Okay, if you lost, sit down, take a seat. All right, who's still playing? All right, if you're still playing, you can come out of the seats,
Find another partner.
Find another partner, exactly. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand and someone will find you. If you don't have a partner, raise your hand. Find someone that has their hand raised if you don't have a partner. Do you guys have partners? Alessandra, why don't you go with this young gentleman right here? Hello, Sam. Oh, you guys are together? Logan, do you have a partner? Do you need a partner? Alessandra, why don't you be a partner with Alessandra? Oh, you're out? What's happening? They tied? Okay, why don't you partner with her, okay? So then on my count, we're gonna go again, okay? Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Wow. A ton of nets.
All right, if you guys tied, stay standing. Dang. If you guys tied, stay standing. If you lost, sit down. Let's have all of our currently playing players come down to the bowl. Come down to the bowl if you're still playing. Who doesn't have a partner? Wow, you guys all found partners. I'm proud of you guys. All right. So on the count, on Ignacio's count, we're gonna play again, okay?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're out, Gabby. I'm sorry. If you're out, please go sit down. Thank you for playing. Do you guys? All right, you two are against each other. You two you guys can be together. You two lovely ladies can be together.
I guess.
Sandra, are you still in?
Wait.
Are you still in?
I don't know.
Hey, Hannah, would you completely obliterate
Let's go,
Alessandra?
Hannah.
Round of applause for Hannah. Thank you, Hannah, for being a lovely step in. All right, on the crowds, 1, 2, 3. That's when you guys would go, okay? So you guys can be coordinated, okay? Ready? Go! Oh man, it's just awkward when there's no silence. Or when this. All right, who's out? Did everybody tie? Are you out?
I did not.
You did. If you did gorilla,
I did not.
he did net, so you're out. I'm sorry, friend. All right, you two can partner up. All right, Noah's still in. Hannah, would you go sit down? Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. All right. Who thinks Aiden's gonna win in this part? Yeah. What's your name?
That was very lame.
Who thinks Desiree's gonna win this one? Yeah. Okay. I think Desiree's gonna win. Who thinks Maya's gonna win? I always forget your name. Hunter, Logan, Ben, Frank, Roger, Larry, Gary, Jeremy, Luke. Wow, it's like someone was saying it to me. All right, Luke, who thinks Luke's gonna win? Woo! Okay, so I think
That
I'm
was
here
pretty
a little
good. That
more
was
for-
pretty good. That was pretty good.
Who thinks Logan's gonna win? Oh man, you have
Oh,
no
you got
one, no
booed.
one's cheering. In fact, they're doing the complete opposite. They're booing. Oh, only Barcelona's gonna cheer on you. Who thinks Noah's gonna win? You've got some fans, Noah. Do you think you're gonna win? He said eh. All right, on the count of 3, on the crowd's count, you guys will do it. Okay, ready? Go! All right. We got 2 nets. This is perfect. Maya.
I think we
Desiree.
should switch the people. I think we should switch the people.
Let's have
Yeah.
Maya
Yeah.
and Logan go. Let's have Maya and Logan go, and Desiree and Noah. Why don't you guys come over here?
Yeah.
Kind of into the middle.
Move this way into
All
the
right.
light.
All right. Who thinks Noah's gonna win? Yeah. Who thinks Desiree's gonna win?
Yeah.
Okay. Who thinks Maya's gonna win? You're getting booed at and cheered for. It's just noise. If you don't want them to win, just don't say anything. Who wants Logan to win? Okay, you're literally doing the opposite of what I just told you to do. And it makes sense that it's Grant. Okay. Ignacio, why don't you take this away?
All right. It's final. Not final. Almost final round.
Almost final.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. You did bear? Okay, you're out. You did
No.
Thank you, Maya and Desiree, for playing. Guys, I feel like you guys cheated. No.
I feel like they did. I feel like
you guys might have cheated. I don't know. All right. I'll let it slide. Make this really quickly. Face around. Okay, cool. Ready? Go! Oh, Logan lost. No, I'm just kidding. I cheated. We'll do it again. I cheated. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, stop doing. No more net. Knock it off. Cuz. All right. 1, 2, 3. Logan is our winner. Woo, round of applause. All right, guys, that was our game. Thank you for everyone playing. If you didn't play, you should have paid attention or got here sooner. I'm sorry.
There's one announcement.
There's uno announcemento. I'm pretty sure that's Spanish.
Very important.
Announcemento? Okay, do you know what the announcement is?
I heard winter camp.
What's winter camp?
I don't know. It's this
There's one thing that I know winter camp is there's no more chance to sign up for winter camp. I'm sorry. If you want to sign up, you can't right now. I'm sorry, but winter camp is next week. Winter camp's next week. 2 weeks. Sorry, I didn't have any coffee like her over there. It's in 2 weeks, so 10 weeks. 11 weeks. No. But guys, winter camp's in 2 weeks. And make sure you guys are ready. Make sure you guys are just praying that you're expecting God to do something. And we have our lovely worship team up. Can we get a round of applause for worship team? Woo! All right, so I think that's all we have for today. Noah Kurosawa, take it away.
What's up, guys? You guys should come down to the front. We're going to have a good time this morning. You guys have some energy. Only one person had coffee, though, so I hope you guys all are bringing the energy as well. So we're going to go into a time of worship and sing along and get excited. We want some energy with you guys. I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. Come on, put your hands together. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I've tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. Come on, come on. The old made new. Jesus, when I met you, you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Come on, we're going to declare this. We're going to talk about Jesus and what he's done for us and what we need. I need a rest. My sin was heavy. When my chains break at the weight of your glory. I need a shelter. I was an orphan. Now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future. My eyes are open. 'Cause when you call my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. What a day! Awesome job, guys. Found in your name, here we go. Found in your name, the power to save, with only a whisper, mountain shake. Jesus, our hope and strength. You made a way, you unlocked these chains. Here in your presence, strongholds freed by the love you gave. Come Come on, let's sing this out. Let's praise him. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. There on a tree, merciful King, is broken and shame for all to see. The Father laid down His Son. From darkness, here we go. From darkness to light, death lost to life, heaven and earth will join and sing, as Jesus has overcome. Let's lift it up. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. With every breath, I in my lungs, my heart cries out. To you belongs the glory. Through every loss of victory, my soul will rise to only bring you glory. With every breath in my lungs, my heart cries out. To you belongs the glory. Through every loss or victory, my soul will rise to only bring you glory. God, bring you glory. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. With every breath that's in my lungs, my heart cries out. To you belongs the glory. The glory. Through every loss, victory, my soul will rise to only bring you glory. God, bring you glory. Let's sing out this chorus one more time. So we give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all. We give you the highest praise. You deserve it all. You deserve it all.
to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to, and I will make room for you to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to. Here is where I lay it down. You are all I'm chasing. This is my surrender. This is my surrender. Here is where I lay it down. You are all I'm chasing. This is my surrender. Jesus, you're so good. Sometimes it's so easy to prioritize other things in our life. We get caught up in our world. But Lord, right now we surrender to you. We give you our all. We give you the priority over our life. We make room for you. We will be intentional in making room for you. Because you're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Turn to your neighbor, be like, you sang good today. And then take a seat. As you take a seat, can the student leaders who are in charge of offering, do we have the buckets? Good. So, I don't know about you, but I was very proud of the middle school girls who, last Wednesday, correct. Last Wednesday, they had a bake sale for Kingdom Builders. Let's give it up for the middle school girls. Yeah, my girls, let's go. But just to keep in mind that the big give that we had in winter, it's still a winter, Christmas, didn't we start that in November? Only in December? Well, the big kick was December. But that it is good, and I'm proud of the middle school girls, to keep that mindset that we're still raising money and fundraising for Kingdom Builders. So if you guys have ideas, you can still do it. You can do things like bake sales. You can still do, I don't know, I'm blanking. What's other than food? Anybody have ideas? Shout it out. What? Pie in the face? You can organize that. If you want to, you can do leaders. Don't pick me. Don't pick me. You might, so. Oh. Car wash. Literally anything. Taking out the trash. Getting some of your allowance to Kingdom Builders. So keep that in mind, that it's a continuous thing. So as I pray, after I pray, they'll pass the buckets. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day given us, and keep that reminder in our head that we are to give to you. That is what you say in your word, that we are to give to you of what we have, because everything that we have belongs to you. And help these kids, even if it's one penny, that they will be willing to give a little bit of what they have to you and back to your kingdom. In Jesus' name, amen. Now everybody, check out this video.
word that comes to mind when I think about Jesus is powerful.
Kind.
I think about the word peace.
Loving and caring.
Life, because he sacrificed his life to give us ours.
Is Jesus God, or is God Jesus, or are they the same person?
What's it like being the most powerful person to ever walk on earth?
What did he do on his downtime?
Why does he love us so much?
He's a person who loves and cares for me.
My role model.
A very safe place to talk to.
Jesus is a friend.
If I'm dealing with anything, I know I can go to him and he'll help me through it.
Nice. How many of you guys like starting a new series? Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go. So our series these next 4 or 5 weeks is called Who is Jesus? Say, who is Jesus? Oh, you guys have so much energy today. I love it. I love it. All right. So for this first week of Who is Jesus, we are going to be talking about Jesus, obviously. But the big idea, say big idea. Oh, yeah, let's go. Because of Jesus, you can be connected with God. And I know we just got out of our series called Connected, so there should be some little, puzzle pieces that are, kind of clicking in together, right? But over these next 5 weeks, we're going to be diving into a little deeper about who Jesus is and kind of contributing a little bit of what we just learned about how to have a relationship with Jesus, okay? Alrighty. Thank you for that response. That was great. All right. So I have a very important question for you guys. My question is, what are some questions you guys have about Jesus? And you guys know me. I like to go talk to you guys. So let me ask you, do you have a question about Jesus? What is your question about Jesus?
I'm thinking. You're good. How does he love us, and at the same time, how does he know that some people are going to hell?
That's a really good question. Wow. High five. Okay, I see you. Okay.
I once stumped my history teacher with that, and we spent the whole class talking about it.
That's awesome. Mad respect. Okay. That's awesome. Okay. What is your question about Jesus?
I don't have one.
That's okay. Oh, you have a question? You always love going on the microphone. I know you do. What's your question about Jesus?
I don't have one.
Ooh, what was her question about Jesus?
How does he love everybody and do miracles at the same time?
Oh, what was your question? You stepped on my shoe. What was your question? Not that. What is it? I don't know. It's okay. I'll come back. What is your question about Jesus?
Why does he love us?
That's a great question. What is your question about Jesus?
Why does he show us miracles and not tell us?
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, come here. What is your question? I would try to go through, but y'all know I'm clumsy. That would not be pretty. I'd fall on a kid. What is your question?
How does he connect to you, and how do you connect to him, and how does he signal to you?
That's really good. So actually, to answer your question, we're going to be touching on that a little bit today. We're going to be talking about the connection. Okay, fine, one more. What is your question? Make it good.
What's the deal with mosquitoes?
That's a good question. I don't like mosquitoes either, or ticks. What's the point of those? And spiders? Disgusting. All right, but to touch on your question about connecting with Jesus, we're going to dive into that today. So before we get into it, I kind of want to also, it's great to ask questions about who Jesus is, right? Jesus wants us to do that. He wants us to discover who he is and what he means to us and what he means to everybody. And all those big, great, important questions, even if you don't want to ask that question into a microphone, it's okay. You can go ahead and ask Jesus those questions anyway. But I have a quick story for you guys, so it's gonna be a little bit interesting. But so before, probably September, I'm so excited, sorry. All right, so in September, I was done being the youth director of JRNYTH Beach Park. But before that, I started in 2020. Yeah, when the world shut down, it was so good. Wow, that was fun. All right, but before that, in January of 2020, I started being the youth director of Beach Park, which Eric is now the youth director, and we love him. He is amazing, right? Give him a round of applause. So good. We love you, Eric. You're incredible. But before that, that meant I couldn't be at Kenosha anymore for Sundays or Wednesdays, and that was kind of scary. Like, I was ready for this. I had been an intern for 3 years before I was a youth director, so lots of just trial and error and more error, but more stuff that I learned from those errors. So I was so pumped to be the youth director. So I walked in the Beach Park campus, and I'm like, I don't know anybody here. All my friends are in Kenosha. All the students I know are in Kenosha. This is terrifying. Like, I have to make new friends? That's kind of rough. So in that whole season, I just felt very lonely and just kind of disconnected from the church that I was in for a long time because I didn't have my normal people around me. Like, Pastor Stephen and Angela weren't there. Hannah and Noah weren't there. Patrick wasn't there. You guys weren't there. So I didn't know anybody, right? It was kind of sad, right? I didn't know anybody in Beach Park. And that really made me feel alone and made me feel disconnected. Have you guys ever been there before? I feel like some of you have. Not all of you, but that's okay. It's not all of you. But the truth is that we all know what it feels like to be alone, even if you're in a room full of people, or even if you're at home, there can still be moments that we feel lonely. You probably know what I mean, even if you have a million friends or a group of people you hang out on the regular, or you're in like 20 different chats in like Instagram or Snapchat, or if you have a phone texting, or like some kind of school thing. I don't know. You guys are very advanced in your school things. I was homeschooled, so I don't know what that does. But maybe even when you're sitting in lunch with a bunch of people, you might even feel lonely, even though you're in a room full of hundreds of people. You still might deal with the feeling of loneliness, maybe even if you have a little voice in your head that tells you you don't really fit in, or no one really knows you, or you'll never really feel connected to somebody, ever. And the reason that I know this, that you might feel this, is because I have felt it too. There have been so many moments in my life where I felt lonely. Even when I was a youth director, I felt very lonely because none of my friends understood what it was like to be in that high capacity leadership. I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody that was my age and they would understand. And some of us go through those same situations as well, where you're just like, I can't talk to my friend about that. They don't understand it. Or my parents don't understand it either. They don't see me. But to prove that this is not an abnormal feeling, I have a little statistic for you guys. So in a study of middle and high school students, 40% of people said that they felt lonely or disconnected from others most of the time. That's crazy. 40%. 4 out of 10 people here at church or in your class or maybe even in your family feel like they are alone. And they feel like they're lonely. 40% of teenagers still feel disconnected. That's insane. So hopefully that kind of gives you some comfort and makes you realize that you're not alone if you feel that way. It gave me a little bit of comfort. When I read this too, I'm like, oh, I'm not that weird. You know, it's a little like kind of normal to feel lonely. But in fact, most of us, it can feel like there's something that keeps us from being with other people, right? Whether that's kind of like anxiety, or maybe you're just like, I just don't want to. Or maybe there's just like, there's some kind of disconnect, right? There's like a curtain, like an imaginary curtain right between you and them. Maybe you see like your group of people over there like having a grand old time, and then you're just there like, I don't connect with them. There's something missing, and I can't go over there. Like I can, but I just feel like I'll be ignored the whole time. There is something between us and them that makes us feel like we're left all alone here. But what if I told you that you are not alone? And for starters, you're definitely not the only person who has felt this. Trust me, like I said, I definitely have felt what it's like to be lonely. Everybody struggles with this feeling of being disconnected from one time or another. But beyond that, you are not alone because of Jesus. Say Jesus. Say Jesus. Oh! But now, listen, you might be thinking, not alone because of Jesus? The heck does that mean? Like, he's not here in person. Like, I don't see him. Well, he's here in person. But, like, he's not like, what's up, Jesus? We're good, you know? He's not here, but he is. Well, I say that because I think it is true. We are not alone because of Jesus. Maybe you do too, and maybe the idea of Jesus always being with you maybe gave you some comfort, or maybe it kind of confused you, like, what does that even mean? You're crazy. Or maybe that just kind of made you feel like, yeah, I already knew that, but I still feel lonely. But the idea of a God who seems far away, old, and distant is not exactly helpful, right? It does not help. It doesn't feel helpful when our friends leave you out. It does not feel like he is there when we are the outsider in our own family. And it does not feel like we are connected at church when we're surrounded by people all our age, yet we're in the back and we feel like we can't connect to anybody. In those moments, what does Jesus really mean for you? And if that's how you feel, I completely get it. But lean in. I want you guys to really hear how this can change. Because I think that by asking questions about who Jesus is, we'll really discover just how much knowing who Jesus is really changes everything. It really does, including where we feel disconnected. So to kick this off a little bit, to dive a little bit more detail, I'll give you guys a little history lesson. How many of you guys like history? Nice. I also liked history as well. It was pretty cool. But, so, everybody close your eyes. I want you to paint this mental picture. Paint this picture. Okay, so there is this big fence, like a huge rectangle of a fence, okay? And then there's like a door you have to walk into, right? And then on the inside of that, there's like another fence, right? Okay, another wall. Let's call it a wall, okay? And then inside of that, there's like a box with a curtain around it, okay? And then there's like, big canvas roof, fun little things. So that is basically, very roughly, what the old temple looks like when Jesus was around. You can open your eyes. So Jesus lived in ancient Israel. Say ancient Israel. Good job. And he grew up in the first century Jewish culture. And a huge part of life back then was going to the temple, kind of like how we go to church, yay. But like a little bit bigger back then, right? So the temple was where people went to worship God. And it was also a place where all the important stuff in town happened. And certain parts of the temple were for certain people only. That's rude. Like, if you weren't Jewish, you could not step foot in the temple, okay? You couldn't go through that big door and be like, what's up? I'm about to meet Jesus. No, you had to be on the outside. And if you were a Jewish woman, you could only go to certain parts. And if you're a Jewish man, you could also only go to certain parts. But if you're a priest, you could go almost everywhere, except for like the center, unless you were a high priest. And if you were a high priest, you could only go in the center part called the Holy of Holies one time a year. That's like only hearing from God one time a year. That's insane. And so the Holy of Holies is where God was. That's where God came, that's where he resided, okay? And it was just so powerful and so insane. If you weren't that chosen person, you'd walk in there and die just because of how greatness of God is, right? That kind of blows your mind, right? That's insane. So at this point in history, the culture Jesus lived in had a lot of separation. They had a lot of separation. Say separation. The people literally could not get behind that curtain. They were disconnected. Say disconnected. People were separated from each other, and most importantly, everybody, except that one person, were separated from the place where God was. And without Jesus, everybody would have stayed separated from God. And back then, people asked a lot of questions, kind of like what we did today, about who Jesus is. Like, why did Jesus come to earth? Or what was he trying to do? Or was he really the Son of God? Some people thought he was just a really good teacher, and some people thought that he was just going to come to overrule the Roman rule. Thank you. Some people thought he was just going to overrule the throne, like from Caesar. I don't think that's like the right time, but whatever. Just whoever the Roman ruler was. Thank you for that. Thank you. You're a G. But whoever was that Roman ruler at that time, people thought Jesus was just going to come and take it over. Nobody expected that the same Roman government that arrested Jesus and sentenced him to death was going to happen. They did not. But what they did was they took Jesus and they tortured him and they beat him and insulted him in front of everybody. They made fun of him, they mocked him, basically saying, "Oh, all hail King of the Jews. If you're really a son of God, you can stop all this right now. You can come down from that cross. You can stop us beating you." And they would spit on him and kick him and whip him. But as this was happening, God was using this moment to do so much. So as we can see in Matthew 27:50-51, it says, "And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. And that moment, the curtain from the temple was torn in two from top to bottom." And this is a huge deal. Remember when I said that only the high priest could go into that Holy of Holies place one time a year? This totally changed everything. It changed everything. The days of separation were over completely. But before, only once a year you could go in, but now there was a connection from God to us and everybody. But in that moment, Jesus changed everything. Jesus made it perfectly clear that there would never be a separation between God and God's people ever again. It changed everything from the people back then, and it changes everything for us today. So your friends may feel distant, but God isn't. Let me say that again. Your friends and your family and your parents and those that you feel are closest to you may feel distant, but God isn't. You may feel like other people don't know you or want to be close to you, but God does. You may feel like you have been good. You have to be good. You have to be perfect to be around God, but you don't. Nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing you do or don't do can separate you from God and how he loves you. One of Jesus' friends named John, say John, beautiful, wrote down everything that he experienced while he was with Jesus and while Jesus was on earth. John saw it all. He saw it, everything, including the way Jesus' death and resurrection changed everything. And I think one of the things John tells us about what Jesus said can really help us understand who Jesus is to us. So in John 15:15, it says, "I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you." We are friends with Jesus. And I think that's so amazing. To be friends with Jesus, the one that died for us to be free, the same person that died for us so we can live in eternity with him. Yeah, we're best friends. That's amazing. It's not just like, "Oh, we're friends, let's go camping. Like, let's have sleepovers. It's going to be amazing." No, the kind of friendship that you have with Jesus is, we're friends because I'll turn the world upside down, defeat death, and even tear the curtain in two that separates us from God so that you can be connected with me. You and I are connected, and so is everybody after you and before you. From now on, you're always going to be connected to God. My death on the cross made sure that was possible no matter what. We can never be separated, and you are not alone. And in other words, because of Jesus, you can be connected with God. This is who Jesus really is. He is the connection from us to God. So even when you feel disconnected from your friends or the people at school or even people at home, you'll never have that disconnection from God. There is no curtain between you. God's close to you no matter what. And maybe you've never thought about God like a close friend before, and that's okay. Maybe you believe the stories of who Jesus is from your grandparents, or maybe somebody from church, or maybe somebody from TikTok that you just kind of scrolled on your For You page. And as we begin this series, I want to challenge you guys to find out for yourself. Like I said, it is so okay to ask those hard questions about who Jesus is. Because Jesus wants us to know who he is. He wants us to be curious. He wants us to have that relationship with him. He wants us to know him. So asking these questions is actually one of the reasons why we have small groups. And how many of you guys love your small group leaders? Aren't they amazing? Oh, they're incredible. We love them. So we have small groups so we can remind each other of what's true about who Jesus really is. That even when we feel far away, that there is no separation. Because of Jesus, you can be connected with God. For some of you, this might be like the first time you've really realized that you can be close with God. And maybe if that's you, a huge step today is going to be talking about it in your small group. We're going to kind of bring that into practice. Or maybe that's even asking me or Noah or Hannah or Patrick or maybe even Pastor Stephen if you see him. But the first step to kind of growing that connection is talking to people and asking those questions. And it's okay if we don't have the answers. It's okay to go looking for them for yourselves or maybe even ask an adult, hey, where can I go to find this answer? After you start talking to your life group, I really want you guys to try this. The next time you find yourself feeling lonely or disconnected or separated, go to God. In my season of loneliness, God was my best friend. He still is. But in those moments that I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody or felt like I couldn't relate to anybody, I knew that God was there. I knew that God will always be listening. He is my shoulder to cry on. He is my joy when I feel like I didn't have any. He was my peace when I had anxiety. And he was my healer when I really needed it. Tell God how you really feel. Spend time with God. Reach out to a friend who you know will encourage you to remind you to go to God. This is a really hard thing that I also, this is a hard habit that I had to break over a while. I always went to my friends first and then God like third. But I want you guys to go to God first. He wants that connection with you. It's okay to be angry at God. I've been so mad at God sometimes, like, you don't understand. But God wants you to be completely honest with him. Listen to worship music or pray or maybe even write those thoughts down in a journal that you can maybe look back on and see your growth and be like, oh yeah, God did that. Sometimes when I read back my journal, I look back and see this is where God was. This is how I can see how God was in this situation and I couldn't see it in that moment. But do whatever it takes for you to grow closer to God because he wants you to feel that connection between you and him. Because no matter what, you can. And remember, because of Jesus, you can be connected with God. So I want you guys to think about this as we close and head into life group. What if you're not as alone or disconnected as you think you are? What if nobody is? What if that thing in you that says, I feel alone, or it shouldn't be this way, is your reminder to grow closer to God? And it's not a way of reminding you how lonely you are. God made a way to be close to you, and because of Jesus, you can be connected with God. And that means that you never have to be alone. So now as we head into life groups, I want you guys to really think about this question. What's one way you can connect with God? So bow your heads and close your eyes as I pray and close this out. Jesus, I thank you so much that you are always there. That in those moments that we feel like we're just completely alone and everybody has maybe abandoned us, that you are there. You're our constant. You surround us when we feel like we're alone. You give us joy when we feel like there is no ounce of joy left in our body. You give us peace when anxiety riddles our body. And I pray that in life group time, Jesus, that our students will just ask those questions about wanting to know you. And not even just today, but as the weeks moving forward, that they just have this hunger and this desire of wanting to know who you really are and have that personal relationship with you. That they won't make their relationship with you their parents or their friends, that their relationship is their own. I pray that you will just give our life group leaders wisdom to answer these questions and be okay with even saying, I'm sorry, I don't know this question, but let me find it out. In your name I pray, amen. All right, so I'm going to invite the lovely Hannah, who led worship. Did she do an amazing job, you guys? Incredible. We're so proud of you, Hannah. I'm going to invite her down to break us off into life.